My we shit. Ameno. Tumbona zviri kuenda nekupi nasi no bereta nasi nai no beret no beret no beret tokutaura zvinhu zvine uprofesa mukati nai zvine udzamu zvisinei nekuti chichi asi zvine weight zvishomanini. This is the reason why you see today I'm not wearing my my beret. I am just myself because I'm going to talk of something that Zimbabweans are eager to know. What will happen now? As you understand, that Bellarmine Chatunga, the son of Robert Gabriel Mugabe, has been arrested in South Africa yesterday. And when I posted the news, someone was saying, you are lying. But it's not me who is the source of the origin of the news that Bellarmine Chatunga has been arrested. He has been arrested, yes, by South African police after a shooting incident at his property in South Africa. Custom Nyamaropa, Yuda Shepherd, boy, Rwango, Anza, and Ichazim, and Fura. Yes. So this is what we want to discuss. Here. A witness, a victim who was shot today when visited by police. I'm not sure, is it police or it's just social media people speculating that the victim has said he doesn't recognize a person who shot him. There are quite a lot of things at play which Zimbabweans are not privy here, which we will discuss tonight. I'm not going to take long because of other commitments, but I would want to talk about this with the people with a bit with the knowledge of forensic science. I'm going to discuss this matter in the context of in forensic context, or in the context of forensic science, so that those with no knowledge of what is happening or what will happen or what is likely to happen can have a grasp of what I'm discussing about. I'm going to be a bit simple in my discussion. I know you won't all agree with what I am going to talk. First of all, I would like to highlight something that the Zimbabweans are not highlighting here. Crichton Nemadire, how are you? Peter Gotora Masquera say Mkoma Yuda, and Asquera Peter Mkoma Peter. Jiri say William Ponela. William Ponela. Wana Ponela ndo waru kuchinja constitution enyika. Anamkoma William Ponela, but I'm not discussing about the constitution tonight. We are focusing on what Bellarmine Chatunga is going through in South Africa after being arrested for a shooting incident that occurred at his residence in South Africa. The victim who has been shot, I think what you hear from social media speculations or social media specialists or the celebrities are saying, Freddie Ichikodzera, how are you? They are saying the victim has said he can no longer recognize the person who shot him. Kawaida, we've been waiting for this update from you. Thank you so much. So I'm here tonight to try and talk about. Remember, when this incident occurred, rumors say, because I was not there and no one was there, but we hear from different sources. We read from Facebook, we read from newspapers, we listen to SABC, and we come up with the conclusions to say this could have happened, or we are still speculating on what could have happened. Hanzi pakapfurwa musikana anonzi Teboga akatanga kusvika ndiSage Abogwe naMalcolm X Chatunga opfura munhu Malcolm X naSage votanga kusvika. This is where the real case is. This guy called Malcolm X, I'll put the name down, Malcolm X and Sage Kabonge. These two people are famous in South African crimes. This Sage Kabongwe is a very close friend of Chatunga, and Malcolm X is a very close friend of Bellarmine Chatunga, and the two are suspected drug peddlers. They deal in hardcore drugs like cocaine and so forth. This Sage Kabogwe once served a 7-year term for money laundering in South Africa, and this Kabogwe is a very close friend of Visimuze. I'll read the name. Visimuze Kate Mahlala. This name is it's very common in South Africa, and this Visimuze, I've got a little bit of history about Visimuze, who is a friend to Chatunga as well. It's a criminal syndicate in South Africa that has done a lot of damage in South African circles. This Visimuze is Visimuze Kate Mahlala is currently in prison for various crimes, including these firearms crimes, thefts, attempted murder, probably murder as well. I'm not sure, but this Visimuze Kate Mahlala is a South African criminal. Is a criminal who has been involved in large state contracts and related controversies. He owns a security company, a private security company in South Africa, and he's the owner of that security company. He is based in Pretoria. He grew up in Mamelodi East, and he is described in the media as a security boss. These are the people Bellarmine Chatunga associated with in South Africa. This Visimuze Kate Mahlala, people suspect is related to Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, and also is suspected to be related to Chainzani chimwe chimudhara che. Pane chimwe chimudhara chakanetsa stereke South Africa chachiri minister, I think, wepolice ndibatsire vari South Africa. You know this former, I think is still minister or is former minister of Home Affairs or of police. I want to police South Africa. This Visimuze Mahlala is a well-connected criminal in South Africa. I think he's in prison right now. He's connected with Zuma family as well, and he's got connections with Ramaphosa. His connections with I've forgotten his name. So you find that these are the people Bellarmine Chatunga associated with in South Africa. The gentleman, this Visimuze Kate Mahlala, is also a tenderpreneur. He is just like not Bekisele. When the name comes, I will tell you when the name comes. I'll tell you, not Bekisele. I'll tell you the name when it rings in my mind. He is a very connected criminal in Zimbabwe. Connected to the Vusimus is the Chivai of South Africa. Yes, he's a tenderpreneur. He's a tenderpreneur in South Africa, and not Becky Sele. I'll tell you the name. So currently, I think Vusimus is in prison. He is the mastermind of attempted murders, and so forth. He has got weapons in South Africa due to his connections with officials in the South African government. These are the people that Bellarmine Chatunga associated himself with. It's not this guy. Let me check the name. I think. He's a very known guy. I think he was the former minister for police. What's his name? Let me look for his name. I'm trying to find the name. I'm trying to find the name here. When the name comes, it's a very common name. Is it Mbalula or something of that sort? Mbalula. Or is there anyone by the name Mbalula in South Africa? Someone with that name, Mbalula or something of that sort, who was once in charge of the police, minister, a high-ranked minister in South Africa. In ANC, he's in ANC, one of the most high ranks in ANC. I think it's Mbalula. He's connected to this Vusimus Keti. Mbalula. Yeah, that gentleman, Mbalula. That Mbalula. He's, Arigu Jerry Rinonzi Ebogwen, 23 hours, Wakavariro. Yeah, Mbalula, that Mbalula ANC guy is very connected to Fikile Mbalula. I was looking for the name Fikile. Thank you, Tafazo. Thank you, my young brother. I was looking for the name Fikile. That is a very common name in South Africa. Fikile Mbalula. He is connected to this Vusimus cat. This Vusimus cat. Fikile. I was looking for that Fikile name. Yes, it's the one. Fikile Mbalula is very connected to this Vusimus cat, Matala. And there are the people who were doing all the criminal activities, very connected. Mbalula minister in ANC government, yes. The Vusimus cat is a connected gentleman. He's just like Tagwire. He's just like our Onish Vayo in Zimbabwe. So a lot of things. These guys have run a criminal syndicate in South Africa. And if you look at Bellarmine, his friends, all of his friends, they've been in prison. That Sibonge has been in prison, and that Sage, we call him Sage Kabonge, has been in prison. That Malcolm X has been in prison. All these two guys deals with hardcore drugs, and this is a criminal syndicate comprising of the South African president Ramaphosa himself, Fikile Mbalula, and a number of ANC people through this tenderpreneur. This guy got tenders from the government. He doesn't bid for them. They just give him tenders, 328 million rands, 800 million rands tenders, government tenders, and most of them have never been fulfilled. Yes, Fikile Mbalula is the Secretary General for ANC. He is a criminal. That guy is a criminal. And most of these ANC gurus, these are criminals who put these youngsters in front for criminal purposes for their benefit. This is, yeah, that Fikile Mbalula. I was looking for the Fikile. So, Mbalula, connected to Kat, you are not telling the truth. Yes, I am telling the truth now. You might not know this. This is why I am saying people might not be privy to the information that I sourced from South Africa. Fikile Mbalula is very connected to Vusimusi. They are the people who front Vusimusi for all these tenders. So, and a lot of criminal activities have happened in South Africa. These guys, they shoot, kill people, and they've got gangs that run dealing in drugs, hardcore drugs in South Africa. So as a result, this is why you see this is what happening to our own son, Bellarmine Chatunga in South Africa. Because look at that BMW which was fitted with the police siren. You can't do that one in any country. And who gave Bellarmine Chatunga those sirens? He bought them, yes. But from where? And where was he using that BMW for? What was he using it for? For transporting drugs. People would think, oh, this is a police car. And probably in the police books, that car was there, or police have got. South African police are so corrupt. Police have probably known that there is a BMW that could go in front there whilst they hit the siren and no one stops them whilst they are transporting drugs in and around South Africa. And the one who was getting woolies big with the money, definitely. So this is a criminal syndicate that has been operating in South Africa, even under the watchful eyes of the South African government, without them doing anything. Because they are people. They are people. You understand? So this shooting that occurred at Bellarmine's place does not surprise us. Does not surprise you, considering the type of people he has been associated with. And those guys were the first to arrive to try and see what had happened at Chatunga's. And the disappearance of this weapon at this juncture, and the version that is coming out now to say the victim does not recognize who shot him. It tells a lot. Chatunga na Robert Jr. Chimwe, yes. Or no, they are different. Robert Mugabe Jr. is the eldest. Is the eldest. Then comes Bona Mugabe. From Bona Mugabe, then comes Bellarmine. I think you remember when Bellarmine was born, people were saying this boy anakwana, or maybe because azvarwa nemudhara achembera, and quite a lot of things on chinenge chimboko chinenge chinopenga when he was born. Aingwe actors really funny wherever the first family went. So Robert is the eldest. Then comes Bona, and then Bellarmine is the last born. Although Grace had another child from her previous marriage, not the late Goreraza. So I don't think that matters much, considering what we need to discuss. What we need, and I'm going John Cloud, these are brats. Bona ndiye mkuru. Not sure. Not sure. Bona could be the eldest, and Robert Jr. being second, or this one. Yeah, Bona is firstborn. Thanks for the correction, because I don't know much about this family, but nungoziva kuti kune 3 vana vaRobert Mugabe. Vakanzi naGrace Mugabe, they are cloned children. Mugabe Grace akataura pavanhu zvikanzi ndakaitwa artificial insemination for me to have these kids. She was open on a lot of things. It's Bona, Robert, and Chatunga in that order, Yuda. Thank you so much, Enoch Mutena. Thank you, my brother. So this is the order that they were born, but not the current issue. So what we are discussing is about what happened on the day of the shooting. It's after a barrage of shots were heard. The police reacted. Then they went to the house to investigate. It took police time to get into the house, and eventually they managed to get where Bellarmine was hiding. And they tried to. It was a negotiating issue that they negotiated with him to open the door, and he did open the door, and he came out. They arrested him. They arrested him. So he did not come out on his own, but the police had to negotiate, to give some threats that, look, we're gonna fire, we're gonna break the door, this and that. And the police looked so scared. And the white lights in South Africa is for security guards. Police use the blue. Thank you very much. So that means what was it for? What was it for? Bonandi Mkuru, thank you so much. What was that white light for? Hans captured subs since the time of UNAT in 2008 to date. So even Mbalula was put of all these scandals. They're part of all this. They are, of course, part of the scandals, because it's just like Chivayo giving cars to army generals, to the police in Zimbabwe. If he commit a crime, I don't think they will arrest that boy. It's because of whatever he did to the police commissioner, building their houses, giving them money, buying them cars. That is the same Vusimus was doing in South Africa after capturing the whole of... It was through his connections to the Ramaphosa family, to the Fikele family, to the Zuma family, the EFF as well, the part of captured lot in this Vusimusi Curtis saga. So, coming to the shooting, that the police had a barrage of shots. It was not just one shot that was fired at the property, according to what SABC said, according to what news agents are saying. There was a barrage of shots, and the shots came from rifles. This is according to what they said. They don't suspect that the mutsindo wacho waibuda mfuti zozo kuti wakanga uri mutsindo wema pistols. These were like AK assault rifles or FN rifles, big arms of war. Light arms of war, but akakura sana AK nana FN ndo mutsindo wakanzwika futi dzichirira, people exchanging gunfire. Anzi Namkoma John, okay, you shoot an unarmed person for slowing to open the gate. This is also a version that is coming out of there, that he was shot because he delayed opening the gate, but he is saying he cannot recognize or remember who shot him. So looking at that, there are a lot of questions that are rising from people, especially this disappearance of the gun. When police arrived, they carried out a search. They persuaded Bellarmine to open the door. When he opened the door, he had no firearm with him. So they proceeded to arrest him. And I think there was another guy there in the house who was arrested with the Bellarmine, and they were taken away by police. So the police did not find a gun. No.
No, Sakarubi Diana. No.
Close the door, I'm live here. Sorry guys, I think I'm trying to... So sorry guys, there was a bit of interruption, but let's continue with the story. So after that, police whisked Bellarmine Chatunga. You saw the photos. He had something in his pocket. When I looked at that thing, to me I thought it was a magazine. a firearm magazine. So I don't know, because I just looked at it the same way you saw it, that the same way I saw it. But the misery here is, where is the gun that was used to shoot this garden boy? Remember, we are talking about the assassination. We're still smarting from the assassination of the likes of Anam Sarawaka in South Africa. And political activists running into South Africa, meeting such gangs, are highly armed gangs, dealing in drugs and doing money laundering, who can easily have firearms, can shoot anyone in that country. It's something that people should be considering seriously. But where is the firearm? Why did this firearm disappear? Was this firearm a legal firearm? Does it have papers there in South Africa? And why, if it was a legal firearm, why would it disappear? And where did the firearm go? Quite a lot of questions. Was it a rifle? Were they pistols? Was it a pistol? A lot of things are flying. We are not sure what South African police recovered from there. Did they recover empty cartridges, the 9mm cartridges, or other balls, like the 7.39, 7.6, something for the rifles? What type of cartridge, empty cartridges, did the South African police recovered from the place of sin? Did they recover one empty cartridge, or did they recover a number of cartridges from the crime scene? So it's mind-boggling where the weapon went. Why would Bellarmine Chatunga, son of a former Zimbabwe president, associate himself with criminals in South Africa? Most of his friends are criminals who have served prison term for violent crimes. Why would he do that? Because considering how rich Mugabe was, probably one of the richest men in Africa, left all billions of money to his children, and his children are getting involved in criminal activities in Africa, doing drugs, money laundering, doing killing, shooting people, killing people. It's not the first time that Bellarmine has been involved in such instances. I would say a lot of instances that Bellarmine did. Because if you look at the people who arrived after the shooting, these are his friends. Serge Kaboge, a convict. Malcolm X, a convict. And being connected to Vusi Muscat, a convict. People dealing in violence, people dealing in drugs in South Africa. These are the friends of Zimbabwe president, his son, Bellarmine Chatunga. And the involvement, what disturbs here is the involvement of ANC politicians who are involved in these criminal activities, rendering South Africa a very unsafe country in the world, where people just get shot and nothing happens to the people shooting and killing people. So the multi-million-dollar question here is, where's the weapon? Where did it disappear to? Why would Bellarmine Chatunga lock himself in the house, only to be released, only to come out after police threatened to blow the door, or to destroy the door, and police had to negotiate with him to come out? Inside that house, he was the only one, or he was with someone, because I heard 2 people were arrested there. So he had a friend, and there were only 2 there. And the gardener was shot. So who shot the gardener? Some versions are saying probably someone who invaded the house. I don't know what that person wanted. Probably shot the gardener. And why would they shoot a gardener, not to shoot a security guard? I think there was a security guard as well at that house. I'm not sure who is responsible for opening the gate, a security guard or a gardener. So some people, another version is saying there were people who were following them and who shot the guy who opened the gate, the gardener. And the Bellarmine Chatunga and his friend, probably, they ran into the house, locked themselves into there. And they were scared of the gunshots. They were scared of whatever was happening at the house. This is a different version of the things that occurred on the day. So, but why would they lock themselves in? Probably they were scared of the people who were firing at them, or who were firing, who shot the gardener. We don't know that, because the gardener's version today is a different version. Can we say it's a witness who turned hostile to the state case? Because there are a lot of connections here. The gardener knows that the gardener knows exactly what was happening at the house, the issue of drugs, the connections, Chatunga's connections, and the gardener knows if he pins everything on Chatunga, probably they will come. Other gang members will come and finish him in the hospital. So he is a vulnerable person at the moment who can be killed to conceal evidence of the shooting. So I'm going to consider like forensics in this matter. I'll discuss it in the context of forensic science. I am giving a general overview of you guys to try and think widely what could have happened. Did Chatunga locked himself in the room, fearing those people who were firing? Or did Chatunga shot this guy and went to hide a weapon or dispose a weapon in that room? Where did the weapon go? Because when police came, they didn't find a weapon on Bellarmine. If we look back, we have got a bit history of Chatunga. Remember, in a concession in Mazowe, let's talk of things that Bellarmine did. If we look back, he went to concession mine. They call it ultimate mine in concession, where Grace Mugabe owns a farm. So there were security guards there who guard the farm. And when Bellarmine went there, he was not happy. He went with the bouncers, wielding AK assault rifles. This is why I'm saying the shooting at Chatunga's place, he knows better. Because he went to concession, remember. If you remember this, I'm not sure, is it last year or last year but 2024 or 2025? When he went to concession, there's a farm here. The mom owns a farm in Mazowe. So Chatunga went there. There were these Makorokoza who were mining or wachita gold panning mufamu ya mai vake. So Chatunga went there. He was angry with the security guards and he beat them. He had bouncers wielding AK assault rifles. He went there and beat them. Vakamwe vakatyoka maoko, amwe vakatyoka mbabvu vachirohwa nana Bellarmine negenga rake vane ma-AK. Vakomana vakarohwa vakakuvara zvakaipa. Vairoverwa kunzi imimi, why are you allowing Makorokoza kuti vave vazomaina vazokorokoza gold mumazowe farm, mufamu yamai vake? You still remember, I think you still remember this, guys. You still remember this. I think there were shots fired from there, and probably security guards were shot as well. Perform Ipapo. The case did not go anywhere. I remember, because he was arrested and he went to concession court. He was given 200 bail, and that was that. That was the last time we heard about Chatunga. You remember again when he was coming from South Africa with this gang, with the gang Rake, the driver, I'm not sure what was the driver known as, but vai driver vachibva South Africa, there's an incident which occurred there, vachibva South Africa. police stopped Chatunga, I think, after Beatty Bridge. When they stopped him, they stopped the car. They didn't know that inside the car, there was Bellarmine in there. The police stopped them. Then when they approached the driver, they found that the driver was a South African national. He was a South African national. I have written the name of this guy, the driver. That was in September, probably 2024, when they stopped this South African guy driving the car. Then the police demanded to see this guy's passport. This guy was known as Ivan Molokoza. I didn't do a search for this guy. He was Ivan Molokoza, a South African national. Then the police asked for a passport and the vehicle registration documents, because it had a South African plate. So they wanted to see, which is a norm from police. But before the driver could comply with what the police wanted, there was Bellarmine Chatunga in that car. He quickly handed his own passport to the police to say, look, here you have my passport. He was not the one driving. The police were asking these documents from the driver, not from passengers. And Bellarmine Chatunga was a passenger in this car. Then he took his passport and gave it to a police officer. But the police officer ordered the driver to park the vehicle on the side of the road. This incensed Bellarmine. He disembarked from the vehicle and charged towards the police officer, shouting that, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are delaying me for the 40th time. I am rushing to a wedding in Harare. Check my passport. Don't you know who am I? This was Bellarmine shouting at the police. Police were shocked because he was a passenger. He was not the one driving the car. The police wanted the documents from the driver driving the vehicle and the passport registration. So Bellarmine came in and started shouting at the police to say, look, you don't know who am I? And he slapped the policeman. He slapped the police. When a scuffle occurred and ensued, Bellarmine had a knife which fell, and the police had to pick the knife. So they charged him for possession of that knife and for being chaotic. The chaos that Bellarmine Chatunga did. And he appeared before the court, I think the following day, then being charged for that. Ladies and gentlemen. Then he was granted bail. So he is on bail in concession. He is on bail in Beatty Bridge. We are looking at children who were supposed to be role models in our society. And he was due for routine remand following his arrest on charges of this disorderly misconduct, and was facing charges of possession of a prohibited weapon, which is a knife. This is our Bellarmine Chatunga, former Zimbabwe President R.G. Mugabe's youngest son. So, if you look back, what I've just stated, an incident that happened in concession, you went there with heavily armed men, some brandishing AK assault rifles in concession under that mine. He accused mine staff of allowing illegal gold paners to cross into Grace Mugabe's farm or Mugabe's property. There was violent attacks which occurred there on that mining site in Mazowe. It's called Ultimate Mining Concession. It borders Grace Mugabe's property. Chatunga led these heavily armed men on that ground into the mining area, confronted the security guards at that mining area, accusing them of allowing these gold panners to pan gold in his mom's property. Chatunga was arrested after a severe attack on several employees of that mining concession. And they were left nursing severe wounds after this brutal attack. Chatunga and his co-accused appeared in court and they were released on bail. He was given $200 bail when he was released for those. So it's pathetic when we look at what is really happening to this Mugabe family. It's a disgrace. Recently, Robert Jr. was in court for cocaine, drugs, hard drugs, and these kids. If you look how much Mugabe left for them and what they are doing, it's a really disappointing family that is supposed to be our role model of family in the country. It's sad that this is unfolding for this family, and looking at the current arrest that he's facing, you know, he has been placed in custody. He has been arrested, and obvious forensic evidence will be retrieved from the place of shooting. This forensic evidence should have this probative analysis of exactly what happened. The unfortunate thing is that the witness now is turned hostile. The witness is saying he can't remember who shot him. That means he has turned hostile, placing the whole investigation in jeopardy, and probably could exonerate this young man from wrongdoing, because he can say, I did not do it. But can that be sufficient evidence to say he did not do it? Ndo pane nyaya. Hanzi manzo here zvataurwa na comrade uku pana uyo kwegura and chegore rino. I'm not sure Kudzai, but let's focus on what we are talking about tonight. Can the state proceed? That the witnesses become hostile. When a witness becomes hostile, the whole situation or the whole crime or the criminal offense becomes it jeopardizes a criminal justice system. Because a witness is someone who play a pivotal role in court trials. In the event that Chatunga is taken to court, obviously the victim who was shot is supposed to give evidence in court of what happened on the day in question. And Chatunga hana kuberekwa pamire akafa here. Ya akaberekwa pamire afa. Mwana wa pamire arikunzi mwana wa pamire ndi Robert, I think Robert Jr. Ndiye arikunzi ndiye mwana wa pamire, and ukamutarisa akafanana na pamire. So what I'm saying is, we have got a case here where the witness has gone bonkers. The witness he plays a pivotal role in criminal trials. So a favorable witness can significantly strengthen a case. We have got a victim who was shot, and this victim is not dead. This victim can say something. CCTV ndere. Pane a lot. We will talk about CCTVs there. Obvious, if they were there, and the neighbors had CCTVs as well. So police will leave no stone unturned. The problem that we have now in this case is that all criminals involved in this matter from the friends of Bellarmine are connected to ANC. ANC is in government. The Fikele Mbalulas, the Ramaphosa, the Zuma family are all involved in this whole matter. So it's like the whole ANC people against the state. As Yagato deleted kare. Against the state. Yes, the CCTV could have been deleted because the people involved with the Bellarmine are the people running South Africa. They are the people, they are the most powerful people in that country. And the criminals he deals with are the most powerful and dangerous criminals in South Africa. So we are looking at a witness who has been shot, a vulnerable witness at this juncture, who is supposed to play a pivotal role in court trials, who is the favorable witness, who can significantly strengthen the case in court. And the problems, we are jumping to conclusion. Let's not jump to conclusion, Broga. We should not jump to conclusion. Particularly myself, I should not be seen taking any side. I am a forensic scientist. If I am tasked to investigate this matter, I should not take any side. Even if I'm tasked by Chatunga to say, I want you to be on my side and do your investigations and come up with a conclusion, I should be impartially investigating this matter. This is why I'm sitting on the fence right now. I can fall either side. Because right now, I'm focusing on the witness. Yes, I'm focusing on the witness at this now. Because the witness has turned hostile. I can say he has turned hostile. He was shot, but he said he can't remember who shot him. Because he did not pass away before being shot. No. He could have passed away or fainted after being shot. So he saw the person who shot him. If he can't remember the name, that's fine. But he actually saw the person who shot him. We will come to that, to the issue of cartridges and so forth. We will come to that. Well, let's look at how the witness has suddenly turned hostile, saying that he can't remember who shot him. So I am saying here, the witness is very competent here. He did not pass away before being shot. He could have passed away after being shot and later on regained consciousness. So he should be knowing who actually shot him, who was holding a gun, and if he knows these people. Unless he's telling me that the people who came there, he has never seen them. And probably they were new people in the area or new people that he has met, as we might have 5 or more percent. So this put the whole situation in a difficult position. The difficulty here now arises that the witness turns hostile, potentially altering the case's outcome and complicating the judicial process. Obvious. This is what's going to happen now. Managing such a hostile witness is challenging at this juncture. It is challenging because of the history that I gave you, that Bellarmine is connected with the most known criminals and also government officials in that country. And this could make this issue complicated. The witness could have been visited to say, look, ukangotaura zvakati wewe wabaya, kana kuti aiwa mpana taura zvakati tichakupawo mari pakati. And I support the witness. Why send Chatunga to prison when I can benefit financially from them? It's not about benefiting financially. It's about justice done. It's a matter of justice here, not a matter of benefiting. Hansi Mutemo not a witness changing their statement after receiving a bribe is a serious criminal offense. I hope hapana kushanda mari. Mind you, this case happened at a time when police is under corruption investigation. So Mapurisa under pressure. They have got pressure, but the problem now is who is putting the police under pressure? It's the ANC government. And the ANC government is the one involved in these shenanigans that are happening now. In the first place, who said he was shot by our boy? This is why I am saying we should not take sides. We don't know who shot him. He doesn't know who shot him. So the report says he was shot from the back or what? Nothing has been stated at the moment. They are just speculations. They are just, and nobody knows exactly where he was shot. This is where forensics will get in. There is no justice in Africa. We will see Justice J. Jacobs. We will see justice. This is why I am saying currently it is difficult for the police itself to manage a hostile witness because the issue is already challenging. There is also an issue of credibility here and the subsequent need of proper investigation of the witness or questioning of the witness, because if it is left as it is, it will lead to an unjust outcome, where someone knows who shot him but is scared of talking, is scared of saying something. There are cases in South Africa where a witness who saw things happening has been summoned to court to go and give evidence, and criminals followed those witnesses, shot them at the court, or shot them whilst they were going to court. A lot of witnesses are scared in South Africa. This is the problem we have, that ANC has failed to run that country, has failed to stamp their authority to make sure that guns are well documented. Every South African, I think, has got a gun. And my question is, the first place who said he was shot by Chatunga, or they just arrested Chatunga because he was lawful occupier? When the police reacted there, I think the gardener was still alive. And he could have told the police that I was shot by Bellarmine. This is why I am saying, this is why the police would arrest him. That's another version. Or the police would just have arrested anyone in that house for this shooting, for investigations. The police can pick you for investigations. You understand what I mean? So it's not known whether the gardener said he was shot by Chatunga in the first place and later became hostile and says he can't remember who shot him. So nobody knows at this juncture what the gardener said and why Chatunga was picked up by police and did him on. So this is why I'm saying courts, they might struggle to ascertain the truth in this matter. Only if forensic boggles the case. Because the only hope for this case or for the truth to come out it is gonna be the forensic investigation, where I happen to be one of a forensic scientist. If I look at this matter, I'm telling you, I will be able to help and investigate this matter. I think one was intruder Chatunga, South Africa, England. Yeah. We will. I will venture into that because what needs to be focused on at the moment is the hostility of the witness now, and this can jeopardize this case. Courts may struggle to ascertain the truth, especially on the credibility of this witness. It's already questionable. It's already questionable that he is of sound mind, obvious. Before he was shot, you could tell that I'm being shot here. and knows who shot him. So the impact of a witness change in stance can have serious consequences, particularly when the court must rely on this witness evidence, especially his testimony. Because when he was shot, he clearly saw who shot him. When he says he can't remember who shot him, this is where the challenge arises. Because the cases, it involves very influential individuals. This case, as I've stated, the Mbalula, the Fikelas are involved, the Ramaphosa family is involved, even the Zuma family is involved in all this, because they are all involved with Chatunga. You understand? So once the case involves very influential individual, the challenge is very significant. And here, there might be psychological biases as well, which are related to the social status of the accused. Social status of the accused should be taken into consideration, because that could have, or that could impact on this case. It impacts on impartiality of the court. It impacts on impartiality of investigations, because this is a case where you won't be surprised that people investigating this matter will be eliminated as well. So they will be scared. They will be scared. So the issue of a witness turning hostile here should not be treated lightly. We should be looking at all factors that could have been involved, because some people here in South Africa, I've noticed there is a culture of impunity in South Africa. Certain people are not arrested. Certain people are not even charged of criminal offenses they are accused of. Because people in South Africa, they fear. Guns are everywhere. So nobody wants to jeopardize his life for a case. It's particularly with this witness knows probably who is involved in this matter, and do not want to jeopardize his life. You understand? So quite a lot of things here. When he testifies against Bellarmine, he is testifying against the ANC government, against Ramaphosa, against Zuma, against EFF. He's testifying against all these people. So that will put his life at risk. And nobody wants that to happen to him. So the witness so far has turned hostile. This is what I can say. But we need to look to wider forensic investigation. Remember yesterday, or today in the morning, or yesterday, I posted on my Facebook page looking at what forensic scientists should do. What forensic scientists should do. So I am going to look into that post again, so that people understand where we are coming from and where forensic scientists are involved. If Chatunga Bellarmine did not shoot this gentleman, it is very easy for forensic scientists to exonerate him. But if he fired a shot that resulted in the injury of or attempted murder of this gentleman, then forensic science would provide crucial insights that will contribute to a case resolution and justice. But what I don't know now is people can help me. I don't know everything. But when the witness becomes hostile like this, he can say he doesn't want to be a witness in this matter and withdraw the matter. But can the state continue this matter without this crucial witness. I'm not sure. I can say yes, in other countries it's very possible. I can say no, in other countries like Zimbabwe, they withdraw the case because the complainant has withdrawn the case. Then the state has no obligation to continue with the case, or the state can still continue with the matter even if the witness has withdrawn for the interest of justice. So I am not sure. We know different things. I don't know everything. But what I understand is if the witness says, I want to withdraw this matter, the state can withdraw the matter. Or the state can continue with the matter without that witness for the interest of justice. Because once you commit a crime, you have committed that crime against the state. So the state can still continue, whether you are there or not, but they can continue with the other evidence available. And why are we saying he is being hostile? He is telling his version. It all depends, Mr. Brogger. We are talking about a victim who was shot, who is involved in with individuals with the highest status in that country. Criminals known for killing people. He could have been visited. But he is being hostile. Because why we are saying that is, when you are being shot, before you are being shot, no injury at all, you are conscious, you are looking at a person shooting you. I would have taken it lightly if he said he does not know the person. He does not know, he saw the person but does not know his name, who shot him. But not he can't recognize who shot him. You understand why I'm saying that? I am not saying he must know. I'm sitting on the fence. I'm looking at the probabilities of someone conscious who is seeing someone shooting him. If he doesn't know the person, of course, he will say, yes, I don't know the person. But I remember being shot by someone like this. He should describe a person who shot him to the police. This is where I am saying the involvement in these early investigations of a forensic scientist will definitely bring the truth out. Because there is $1 million question, which I stated yesterday, that who discharged the firearm? Right. This is $1 million question. Who discharged the firearm? Chatunga Bellarmine can say, I did not fire, I did not have a gun. I did not fire at this gentleman. I did not shoot this gentleman. So we have got someone shot. And someone did it. And who discharged the firearm? This is the multi-million-dollar question. I'm okay, my brother. How are you? This is another question, Mkoma Edimo. Is this gardener a Zimbabwean or a South African? Nobody knows at this juncture. At this moment, nobody has got a full information whether the guy who was shot is Zimbabwean or South African. But $1 million question, even if he's South African, he's not entitled to be shot. Even if he's a Zimbabwean, he's not entitled to be shot. But $1 million question is, who discharged the firearm? Who shot this gardener? Who shot him? So if we involve a forensic scientist at this juncture, what does a forensic scientist do? One, they will collect, analyze, and interpret the evidence, the forensic evidence collected. So it needs interpretation. It's very easy. Once the evidence is, all the evidence is collected, analyzed and interpreted. It's very easy to scientifically link a suspect to the firearm. I know the firearm at the moment hasn't been recovered. But eventually, the firearm will be recovered. I've heard some people saying there are CCTVs. They rely, when the police are doing investigations for your own information, they don't rely on the CCTVs in the property only. They rely on neighboring CCTVs and those CCTVs outside on the road, along the road. There are CCTVs there. I think South Africa, especially in Pretoria or Joburg, it's advanced to that state where they put CCTVs on the road. So CCTVs, they capture who entered the property, who left the property at that particular time of the incident. So the CCTVs will also aid to the investigations. But if the firearm is recovered, then the forensic scientists will be able to link a suspect to the firearm or a suspect to the scene of crime. It's very easy. Using forensic science, very, very easy at all. This is my specialty. So I am going to, and maybe he was shot by robbers trying to take. Yes, this is why I'm saying CCTVs here will help. Footprints will help. The cartridges, empty cartridges recovered by the police will also determine or will help. As an evidence from the scene to the evidence, obvious police collected evidence. Because from the video that I saw, when police officers are reacting to such type of incidents, they invite or they call specialists in those crimes, the forensic scientists involved. They will go and attend the crime scene. Once the police get there, arrest the perpetrators, then forensic scientists move in to collect evidence. So once the evidence is collected, then it will be ready for analysis and interpretation. And that will be done in a forensic laboratory. So forensic examination as well consider the suspect arrested. But the suspect who was arrested is key in this investigation. We will talk about the firearm later. But what is key at this juncture is the suspect, the one arrested by police at the crime scene. Why? Because, let me tell you one thing. If I fire a weapon, and then I'm a shootist, I fired a lot of weapons. If you fire a weapon, gunpowder residue that comes out of that weapon, it concentrates much on the person who fired, on your hands, on your clothes, on your face, on your hair. Gunpowder will be everywhere. The person you are shooting will probably have a little bit of gunpowder with him where the bullet enters. Gunpowder will be recovered as well from there, where the bullet enters. So gunpowder will be very, very important. The recovery of gunpowder is to test gunpowder to see if you are the person who fired. Most of the gunpowder comes on you. So you carry a lot of gunpowder with you rather than someone shot. And your surroundings also will have gunpowder as well, but not the quantity that you carry as a firearm. No, but it's very important. Whether the weapon is recovered, whether the weapon is not recovered. But by mere having gunpowder on you, the amount of gunpowder that comes to the fire, then I think the courts can convict on that. Without a firearm here. Without a firearm here. Because gunpowder residue who reveal its transfer, how much was transferred to you, how long does it stay on you? Because he was arrested immediately after the incident. So we expect persistence of gunpowder on this gentleman to be of high quality or quantity. The prevalence of it, these are like forensically approved or scientifically approved after a lot of research done to say if you fire a pistol, how much gunpowder can we recover to the person who fired? If you fire a rifle, if you fire a big... So a lot of investigations were done to ensure that the scientific world has got acceptable methods of investigating how much or the quantity of gunpowder deposited on a fire and the quantity of the gunpowder deposited on a person shot or a victim. These are scientific. South Africa is a country that probably a first world country, and they've got these systems in place. They've got these systems in place. And I think South African media is to blame. They are publishing raw information and later the case take new dimensions. They are not to blame. Those are news bloggers, people who write news. They're interested in anything that happens in their country. We cannot blame them because they did not invite someone to shoot someone. No. These are news reporters. Even if you bathe, this is why I'm talking about persistence and the prevalence. Even if you bath, there are still elements of gunpowder that can be recovered from your clothes, can be recovered from your skin. There's still forensic scientists can recover a lot of gunpowder even if you bath. You see, even if you bath. There are methods of... It's just like even blood. Killing someone here, blood spilled here. You can use any type of soap to try and remove. Because remember, these are gases. Once you shoot, the gunpowder turns into gases. And you can smell some of them. Even in your nostrils, we recover them. Inside your ears, we recover them. But munumako will recover gunpowder. Those are because it comes as a gas. Even I think from your breath now, people can recover your gunpowder. From your breath, say that gas comes out, put on HPLC, what elements are there. Then we find that you've got the iron, we've got whatever elements found in that gunpowder. So recovery, the good part is the police arrested Bellarmine at the crime scene before even bathing. Before even bathing. So the empty cartridges again plays a pivotal role here. Because when you've got a gun, nyere unoibata kudai nyere. Uchiloda. Kachka? Vakamboloda, vakamboita the 10 rounds, uchiloda magazine. Vakamboloda magazine. Asi vakange vatomhanya kusvika pakanzi chatunga asungwa media obvious. Vakamboloda magazine. Kuti the moment yanotora magazine uchiloda, anditi unenge wakadai. Wosa nyere yako apa kuti keshke, chiloda, keshke. So the most important thing is, pauri kuti keshke paipai, urikusiya ma fingerprints ako pa empty pa cartridge. Kana iri cartridge inenge iri full round handiti inenge iri nyere yese yakadaro. Kana musoro wabuda takuiti empty cartridge. Nyere inoenda, but empty cartridge rosara. Iwo pawakaloda empty cartridge rako waitoisa mafingerprints ako because unonga wakabata nyere uchiloadha pamagazini ketye kana dziri 30 rounds dzese dzine maningiri mafingerprints. So if you fire dzobuda dzichidonha nyero. Saka ravakunhonga, they simply go dust it, put it on a machine, then they can recover your fingerprints from empty cartridges. Saka ndiri kutaura kuti the gun might be missing, but the probability of having Chatunga's fingerprints on the empty cartridge will link him to the crime. Even if the complainant or victim is saying cannot remember who shot him, but the amount of gunpowder that will be recovered from Chatunga and the fingerprints that will be recovered from empty cartridges, they will link the suspect to the crime scene and the crime and the weapon. Saka problem inozoitika ndekuti nyika dzinogadzira gunpowder dzakasiyana-siyana. Macompanies anogadzira gunpowder akasiyana-siyana. Ukaenda kuforensic laboratory kana iri yegovernment, vanenge vane masamples enyere dzinogadzirwa munyika mavo. Every company that inogadzira nyere munyika it submit recipe yeunga hwavo kulaboratory estate. In case of the paitika such a case, retriever gunpowder residue, then you will know that good gunpowder residue ndiye company yakati. Saka mochitarisa nyere dzacho dzinokuratidza kuti ndidze company yakati. Kana iri nyere iri 9mm pistol, indokuratidza kuti maroverwo ainoita zvachitaurwa panapa kunzi firing pin, firing word, dzine marovero adzinoita. Futi imwe neimwe ine signature yayo, adzirove zvakafanana, adzirove pamwe chete. Andiri in the event yekuti pazorikavhwa pfuti papa, vanonga vakutarisa futi papfuti fingerprints ari papfuti kuti ndeani. Vanhu vese vakabata pfutiyo kana mafingerprints ari, because mafingerprints anogara. Pandakaita forensic science, takaita kutora makene eCoca-Cola yaya, uribata wonwa wapedza urikanda moto. Warikanda moto rotsva rese kupera. Wozonoritora keni riya woenda naro kulaboratory, wonoridasta ucheka nemachemicals kuti uone kuti mafingerprints aripo here. Yes, they can be recovered. Zvezvekuti vanhu munoita crime mopisa motikari, motiza moenda. Yatsva motikari iyoyo, we can still recover mafingerprints madoo pese panenge pakabatwa. Forensic scientists now can recover mafingerprints. Saka pane nyaya panapa. We are not saying Chatunga akapfura munhu, but we are saying the evidence that will be retrieved here by the police will exonerate or will link him to the shooting. Once it links him to the shooting, that's it. The boy is going to prison. If it exonerates him, that's it. Because the evidence that we are talking about here, it's not conclusive. No. It's corroborative. It's corroborative evidence, not conclusive. Because what we are saying is, if we recover gunpowder from Chatunga, and it tozono recover nyere empty cartridges chinema fingerprints achatunga, how is the lawyer or the solicitor gonna defend him? Kuti gunpowder iri pari ne gunpowder recover empty cartridges, it matches. Kozouya his fingerprints are on the empty cartridge. The evidence corroborates and can link this gentleman. He can be convicted. Even if the complainant says he does not want this case to proceed, the state can still proceed without this complainant. Because this is a case against the state. And the state can decide to take Chatunga to court. As akoma taakurara, tikunoshandiswa mangwana. Okay, nkoma head. Rarai. But I'm talking about fingerprints. I'm talking about gunshot residues which can be recovered from a suspect, and the fingerprints recovered from the cartridges that have been recovered by forensic scientists. Those can link a suspect to a crime scene. Furthermore, as brother, we are talking of South Africa here, the ex-first might have paid his way out. Yeah, the problem now is South African police is under pressure. Is under pressure. Summers, how are you? South African police is under pressure at the moment. They are being investigated for corruption. This is a high-profile case involving son of a diplomat. It involves son of a diplomat, someone who was in very good, who had a very good relationship with South Africa. Mugabe had a very good relationship with South Africa. This is the reason why, you see, Mugabe, South Africa didn't want Mugabe be removed as president. South Africa's president, Ramaphosa, all former presidents, they've got interests in Zimbabwe, they've got businesses in Zimbabwe. So, it's a high-profile case that the South African police at the moment cannot afford to sweep under the carpet. I've stated a lot of shenanigans that Chatunga did in Zimbabwe. In the Beit Bridge where he slapped a policeman. If you had slapped a policeman, you were supposed to have been sent to prison for 5 or so years. How many years were those Mapostori in Budiriro were sent to prison after they attacked the police? And Chatunga attacked the police. He was supposed to have been sentenced to the same sentence. There is precedence in that. And the court of public opinion versus the court of justice. Yes, that's where court of public opinion comes in. Public opinion is like jury. Are you guilty or not guilty? What would the jury say? Guilt, 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 or not guilt? The vote will send someone to prison. And on. So there are the forensic evidence that will be crucial in this investigation as well. You heard someone talking about bullet trajectories. Trajectories and the number of bullets shot, distance where the shot emanated from, and the time of shooting. Kana huri usiku, wapfurwa munhu, panenge pane a lot to consider on the accuracy of firing. When we talk about bullet trajectory, we talk about how the bullet rises from the point it left the barrel, how the bullet rises. Where was the person who... So if the witness lies, the entrance of the bullet can tell. Kuti rakapinda ri straight here, that can determine the distance the firer was. Rakapinda rakatarisa pasi here kudai can determine the position the firer shot at. Kana rakapinda rakatarisa mudenga richienda because ringa risati ragaina its trajectory momentum yekuti rakuenda manje bullet. Saka that will determine the distance from where the firer shot. And also if there is blood splatter at the back there, kuti ropa ririko rikuratidza kuti was it a high projectile or bullet kan ranga risati rakumhanya, it can determine the distance where the fire shot. The amount of damage the bullet causes when it enters the flesh can determine the type of weapon used. Saka vanogona kutaura kuti iyi pistol yakapinda kana kuti iyi rifle yakarowa. Pane riflings. Saka the type of wound can also determine what type of gun was used. Kana iri shotgun inenge into mapellets hobo tunenge twakakuzara mukati umu. Kana yakakurowa ite close range inenge yakatakurawo nyama yakabuda nayo. But kana yakarowa from a distance shotgun inenge into mapellets hobo tunenge twakakupinda. You understand? Saka it depends. The type of wound determines what type of weapon was used. All this evidence plays a very pivotal role in the criminal investigation and eventually legal proceedings. So, in a forensic casework context, Chatunga's case is very easy to deal with. Very, very easy to deal with. Involve a forensic scientist early, then you will find that it's very easy to deal with this matter. And on. Saka chinongodiwa kuzikamwa nemaZimbabweans ndechekuti zvatiri kutaura zviri kuinvolva what we call forensic ballistic. It's a specialty in forensic sciences. This is an area that deals with firearms, what we call forensic ballistics. How they are used, why they are used in crimes is what I've explained here. So if I am a forensic scientist, I need further training to become a ballistic expert. Because a ballistic expert is a forensic specialist who is responsible for collecting and analyzing ballistic-related evidence. As a forensic scientist, yes, I can go and collect the evidence. But for the analysis, it needs an expert, a ballistic expert, who will go and present this, who will analyze, write a statement, and present his evidence in court. And this will include firearms, it will include ammunitions as well. And it more. Ndosaka mbaona ndati tigai tibatsirane. Ndiri kunzwa a lot of people vari kutaura zvakasiyana about this matter. I've said I'm seated on the fence. I am not saying Chatunga shot this gardener. I am not saying Chatunga did not shoot this gardener. So I am looking at the probabilities of Chatunga being investigated. A lot of things are going to be looked into to exonerate him or to link him to this criminal case. But I'm saying South Africa probably is a first world country. They've got these forensic ballistics with them, where a department that deals with firearms, ammunitions, explosives, with a view to reconstruct the crime scene. And this construction must be accurately. It must be accurate. Because forensic science has been under siege. If you look at my book, I've got a book there that talks about forensic science being under siege. I think I've read the whole book about forensic science being under siege. Because the analysis of this ballistic expert, it should be, we call it a probative analysis. And the probative analysis considers the admissibility of scientific evidence in court. In forensic science, a lot that has happened long time ago. Yekutanga, it was a case in 1993, not 1993, in 1923. there was a Fryer versus United States. This case is very crucial, especially when it comes to evidence that is presented to court. The court, during that time in 1923, it held that for novel scientific evidence to be admissible, we are talking about the findings of those forensic scientists after collecting the evidence. For that evidence to be, for that scientific evidence to be admissible in court, the party that is offering it must establish that the expert testimony and the techniques used to generate the results have been accepted as reliable in a scientific community. This is what the court said. For you to bring your forensic expert here, whatever they are going to talk about, their testimony, or the techniques that they use to retrieve the evidence, analyze the evidence, they must have been accepted by the scientific community. I'm not sure who regulates forensic science in South Africa. But if you come to the United Kingdom, there is Forensic Science Society that ensure the methods or techniques used by forensic scientists are the same and they bring similar results. If the techniques change, then the scientific world should approve those techniques. This is why uchiona ukaenda kuti method yeku retriever nayo magases kana iri HPLC, you use the same method on the same case. What you do as a scientist is, if I follow what you did, and I must come to the same conclusion. So this is why science is said, scientific evidence said to be reliable, because we must bring the same result if we use the same methodology in science. This was said in 1923 by Fryer. There is a case there, you can visit it if you want to read it, about Fryer and the United States. This case said you must ensure that your results, for them to be accepted, they must be they must have been, the techniques you used must have been reliable and approved by the scientific community. Scientific community simply means you and me as scientists. Is this methodology the same that you use and the same that I use? We have come to the same conclusion. So we accept that this methodology, if you use it anywhere, a scientist will come to the same conclusion. So I'm looking, this is scientific evidence, ladies and gentlemen, that the jury, only from, that the jury needs to hear only from an expert witness. The evidence I've spoken about here, the collection of evidence, analysis of evidence from Chatunga's board, from the cartridges and so forth, if they are taken to the court, if it is a jury system, the jury wants to hear this from expert witnesses only, not any other person, but experts in the field of science. There is a case in 1993, Dobet versus Merido Pharmaceuticals. A Supreme Court in America decided that my federal trial court judges were obligated to evaluate the basis of expert testimony. The court has to evaluate the obligation, or the courts have got an obligation to evaluate the basis of expert testimony in order to determine its reliability and value to the jury. Unogona utora muno anouya, and in forensic science we use chemistry, we use when we talk about trajectories and so forth, we use physics. When we talk about chemicals, these guns residue, we use chemistry. So if I go and speak forensic terms, I mean physics terms, before a jury vanonongonongwa murodroom ndovataura about bonding of ionic bonding or whatever, covalent bonding of what comes now to be residue. They don't understand it. So I must go there in a layperson's term. This was what Dobet was saying, challenging this in court to say, look, forensic science must only come from an expert witness who can simplify for the jury to understand, and the courts are obligated to evaluate such evidence to see if that evidence is reliable. I didn't want. So there was another case as well, where people were talking about what is a forensics expert and so forth. The Kumbo Tire Company versus Kamikael in 1999. People were boasting, yeah, I'm a forensic scientist. Yeah, but what you know, for you to be an expert, it has to be technical knowledge, technical know-how of how a bullet travels, of what constitutes the gun residues. So scientific and that technical knowledge is the same. It's the same. If you have got a know-how, you become an expert forensic scientist. So forensic science and technical knowledge, there is no difference to that. This was determined in court. So, looking at what Mr. Chatunga would likely to go through, or Bellarmine would likely to go through, it's not about what he is being charged of. Kana zvishanzi aiwa Chatunga hachaita sei akuexoneratwa. It all depends. It all depends. Zvakudependa nema gunshot wounds also ari pane mfeso. Remember ndataura kuti mashotguns anorova zvakasiyana nema rifles. Shotguns ukatasa mukati vanoziva mashotguns, if you look inside the shotgun, chimpongoro chacheche kana chibarrel chache, it's smooth inside. Smooth inside. So they call it a smooth bore. A gun that you can raise and fire from the shoulder. Saka chinorova zvichiburisa zvibhora zvazve. Saka ukatasa hundu yacho ndokudza kuti this type of gun yakarova panapa. Asi ukatasa rifle manje, mukati mune hunyorwa urimo, mariflings arimo imomo, anoita kuti bara rere parinobuda richimhanya rinenge richitenderedzwa, rinotenderedzwa kusvika gain momentum, romhanya speed inotyisa. So a rifle is a long-barreled weapon with a rifled bore inside it. Saka distance yainorova yakasiyana siyana. Rifle inogona kurova kana 1,000 meters. Vana AK vanorova effectively kuma 300 meters. Kurova kuuraya at 300 meters. But it can roll more than that. Kune ma revolvers, kune ma pistols, kune ma machine guns. Because there anonzi ma improvised firearms. Anowanika muZimbabwe. No munana UK vanodzigadzira. MuZimbabwe no vanogadzira tupfuti twavo twekuti vanokurova. Because there ma projectors acho manyere dzakasiyana siyanawo. Saka zviri kuita pana mukoma wedu mwana wedu Chatunga uyu zvakati siyane. Anogona hake kutsvaka kana achiziva kuti akaridza pfuti, it's gonna waste his money to look for a solicitor. A solicitor will be there for mitigation only, because forensic inenge yapedza naye. Read the case ya pistolas, chirema chachia chekuuraya mukadzi chachia. That will tell you, because evidence collected about his shooting akamboda kuiramba, but forensic yakazomutsitsirira pana pistolas paya nenyaya yekuti gunpowder iyoyi yanga yakawandisa paari. Anditi maona. Saka kana yatorwa forensic evidences, they are visually examined. kozouya dzinozokombewa mamicroscope. Kwani mamicroscope vana SEM microscopes pamwari ekuti ukaisa gun residue yako apo unotoona kuti uyu wakanga uri hupfu, wakanga katanga sugar like you can examine anything nemacomparison microscopes atanawo mazuva ano yekuti vanotora gunshot residue yabva uko votora gunshot residue yavo zvokuti izvo patove nedanger kuna Chatunga kuti akanoonekwa ane gunshot residue yacho ichakompewa nedzimwe mhosva dzakaparwa muSouth Africa dzisina vanhu vakabatwa. Nasaruwaka wakapfurwa, avatombozikanwa zvakapfurwa sei, pamwe ndo same weapon yakapfura Nasaruwaka. So there are dangers now zvaitwa naBellarmine kuti izvozvo evidence dzikatsvakwa dzikaanalyswa dzikainterpretwa dzichazobuda evidence dzaakuratidza kuti kune pfutiyo iyi kana gunpowder yakarikavhwa kwakati, nyere iyo yakamborikavhwa kwakati. Saka it links him kune it links him to various criminal offenses committed around South Africa. Saka atove in danger. And lastly, South Africans won't be happy with the Zimbabweans. That's the very unfortunate thing. If the guy shot is South African, then Zimbabweans are in trouble. This is my fear. Zimbabweans are in trouble. And this was Ziva. And so now let me call it quits. Kanapane, wanenge wane ma questions avo, you can come to my inbox, ask me. Boziva mwana kuziva kuti gun residue inozoshandisirwa ma techniques akaita. There are quite a lot of techniques that are used in forensic science to try and identify kuti munhu ane gunpowder here residue yacho. Vanopara votora voendesa kumushina, vanoisa machemicals anoratidza kuti this type of akuti haachinje the composition of the gunpowder. One good technique is X-ray fluorescence. This technique has been extensively used in forensic science for product of qualitative and quantitative analysis of gunshot residue. X-ray fluorescence, which is convenient. One in a comparatively, it's comparatively low price, this type of technique, and it is simple to analyze or to operate, and the results are so efficient. So this is probably the most used in forensic laboratories, the X-ray fluorescence, because there are different methods. Akada sana dry method anoshandiswa, ma wet methods anoshandiswa, zvakawanda. Kune inonzi demo nitrate test yekutesta kuti une gunpowder here iwewe, inoshandisirwa kuidentify munhu akaridza futi. Andimona demo nitrate test, it was frequently used in 1950 kudhara. It can still work here to identify kuti ndiwo akaridza futi. The test is very simple. My nitrates are picked up on a paraffin wax cast as described earlier on. Then the residues on the cast are treated with the diphenylamine dissolved in strong sulfuric acid. The formation of blue color spots indicates nitrates. Saka, a lot of techniques anoshandiswa na Harrison and Glory's test, akawandisa techniques, as long as they've been given a thumbs up in the forensic community, scientific community, to say yes, they work, they need to produce the results. Sa ndo zvinongodiwa chete. Saka I think ndavhura vanhu maziso kuti vaone kuti lay people's point of view. Mugona aiwa hana kudza pfuti anga akawanda chii anga akaita sei, but on scientifically or on scientific context the case will be different. Saka we rely now kuti what is the witness gonna say, but the witness kana katata hana kupfurwa naChatunga, iye Chatunga ane gunshots. Zvichatarisa kuti pakapinda bara paipai gunshot ya residue ari pakapinda bara neaonekwa pana Chatunga akasiyana here. Kana zvakasiyana, that will exonerate him. Saka victim inogona kungotaura achingoti I need to save my boss, kana ndiri kutya undozourawa, kana ndiri kunzi ndichazopuwa so much. But forensic evidence will not do that. It will link the actual shooter to the crime. Ndofunga mapabata, mapanzwisisa. Ndavhura vanhu pfungwa izvozvi. Ndosaka takaenda kuchikoro handiti. Saka takaenda kuchikoro chacho. Andoona. Saka takaenda kuchikoro kwacho kuti vanhu vazive titsanangurira so in a lay person's language kuti vanhu vazive kuti zvakafamba sei. Saka you will find a witness in this matter now plays a very crucial role in determining the outcome of this case. Saka manzi ndataura ndikati is this guy a victim that is the favorable witness and a positive testimony which strengthens this case. Saka akatanga madilly-dallies ake ekuti he cannot recognize who shot him or he cannot remember who shot him, then other collaborative evidence can be retrieved to exonerate or to link Chatunga to this shooting. The good part is the guy is saying he cannot remember who shot him. In the event that gunpowder found on Chatunga's board is found on the point of entrance to the wound, then the court will say, yes, this gentleman cannot remember, but the residue matches the residue found on Chatunga. So Chatunga is the one who has shot this guy. The court can conclude that. Because he's saying he can't remember. But the other collaborative evidence will link or exonerate Bellarmine here. So I think this will benefit his solicitor if he listens to this presentation. That it's not a witness becoming hostile. It's not that witness, yes. If he can't remember, then the forensic science will do the job. Kutaura uko munhu akaendawo kuchikoro naye ndati nini if the witness cannot remember, the forensic scientists will do the job for the witness. Because there's gonna be a cross-examination conducted. It will be conducted. And that cross-examination will also test the credibility of this witness. Can he remember? What were the reasons he can't remember? Even during investigation, the investigators will be very interested to uncover any inconsistencies or biases in this matter for the interest of justice. Or will be interested in determining the consciousness level of this gentleman before he was shot, and the conscious level after he was shot. Did he lose his memory because he went blank after being shot? Quite a lot of things that will play at this stage. But these stages, ladies and gentlemen, are very crucial for a fair trial and enabling the court to assess the reliability and truthfulness of the evidence that will be presented to court. Mukabata ipapo munenge makunyatsonzwisisa kuti forensic is musadzidherera. Kune vanotuka magauni atakapfeka hatina ngopfeka chete, takaenda kunogara padesk, tikapinda malaboratories, tikazviona zvinhu zvatiri kutaura izvi. Tikamboendawo mumakotsi nana crown court kunotaura chirungu ichi before the jury kuti vaunderstand kuti zvii zvandiri kutaura pano. Saka this witness obvious, vakamboenda kukoti vanoziva this issue yekuti I am a victim, but when the state feels like I need to be a witness as well, ndinobva kudhoko uku ndoenda kudhoko. You can change dhoko. You can change dhoko. Kuti wambenge uri state witness umboenda witness zvakati, wambenge uri accused uzomboenda witness. Zvinoitika mukoti. I've seen that happen in court. Inenge ichipa cross examinations pa when a witness becomes hostile, the court can withdraw the case. No, we cannot proceed with this, but for the interest of justice, because this is a case committed against the state can proceed without you. Victim hamusati mamboona here imimi dzimwe mhosva dzinotongwa mukoti dzisina complainant. Achingonzi the complainant is the state. Kana kuti endai vanoenda kumacriminal courts, endai munoona ndikapara mhosva ini ndikarova munhu panoenda kucourt, record rangu rirakanyorwa kunzi Shepherd S. Yuda versus state. Munhu wandakarova anongodaidzwa chete as a witness. If the prosecution service doesn't feel like calling him, they can still proceed without him as long as there is other corroborative evidence that can send me to prison. Saka kuti witness ave hostile azvina nebasa rese. The court can decide not to call that complainant, but proceed with the matter with other collaborative evidence. Kuti munhu akapfurwa aramba kuya kuzopa uchapupu. Asi gunpowder ratakaona pakapinda bara negunpowder ratakaona pamusungwa zvakafanana. Eni munhu akanga aripo chete musungwa ene uyu ari true. Kana papa nemwe munhu takanotarisa tikaona asina gunpowder. Saka akaridza pfuti ndeuyu. Jere. Andivona. Saka that empowers the court to allow cross-examination of other witnesses kana achinge aramba. Saka there is this probative testimony inenge ichidiwa. Guys, imimika morara zvakanaka. Good night.